Hey everybody, welcome to Wither and Bloom Studios. We are excited to play Dungeons and Dragons tonight. How are we doing, everybody?
Doing great.
Excited. Woo!
We're rolling.
So we have a lot of equipment and we have a lot of stuff, and I know that historically I make mistakes, but tonight I am determined to make sure that this works. But please bear with me. Sometimes things go wrong. But
Red alert.
What's that?
Red alert.
Red alert. Well, we got some.
Red.
What's that? Red alert. Yeah, everything's gone red.
All right, good.
We have some new and exciting things that we're trying to implement tonight into our D&D game, and this is going to be new for season 2. We're going to experiment with some things, and hopefully they work. And if we can improve upon them as we go, then we will. And first of all, one of those things is how you, the audience, can play along with us. And that's kind of important. So one of the things that we're going to allow you to do is work towards 2 possible goals. You can either choose to support the characters, almost like patrons, or you could choose to support the DM. Now you'll notice that on the screen, I got a point over there, on the screen there are 2 potion bottles for those goals, and then of course there is a sub-goal that is over there. The first goal on the top, which says character goal, is when that bottle fills, we will be awarding the group a healing potion. Now I know that sounds a little bit mundane, but once that goal is fulfilled, we tier up into the next goal, and that's going to be a table that we roll on, and then it tiers up again and tiers up again. So the farther up the ladder that we take this, the better off the characters are. Now, the way you support the characters is through the Super Chat. So if you Super Chat anything, you will actually be contributing to that bottle filling. And Super Chat is simple. Down at the bottom of your chat window, you will notice there's a little button with a $sign, because you do have to pay for Super Chat, but it can be a simple $1 all the way up to the entire fortune of, I don't know, one of the oligarchs would be nice, but you get the idea.
Hit us with that oligarch love.
That's right. Oligarch love, please. So that is how you support the characters. Now, if you want to support the DM, there's going to be a table that I get to roll on when my bottle fills, and I could possibly win things like undoing a critical roll that one of the characters gets. I could automatically crit on one turn that I want to. I can add baddies to the actual battle. All you have to do is look in the description of the video to see the different tables. It's pretty robust, and you can look through there and see. So, kind of exciting, and we're looking forward to having you guys along. And if you don't want to participate that way, give us a like and a follow, and tell your friends about the show. We would love to have you along.
Or say something nice in the chat. We like nice
just
things.
just hang out in the chat and have a good time.
We like talking to y'all.
That's good too.
We'll talk to you on break.
Yeah. All right, so we got a game to play tonight, and this is going to be session 1. So for those of you that are watching that have not seen session 0, that is on our YouTube channel. You can check that out later if you want to, kind of check out some character introductions and whatnot. But we have a little bit of an opener that we're going to go through. And how are you guys feeling tonight?
I'm excited.
Good.
I'm hyped.
Energized.
I'm hyped.
All right.
Yeah, energized over there.
Looking forward to it.
Energized.
Think it's gonna
I'm ready to
be
get back.
Good time.
Wait, are you guys going to do voices?
No.
You were really quick to say no.
Come on, I love the voices.
Barnacle?
Barnacle! Yeah, for those of you that don't get that joke, you eventually will. All right, so let's see. I am going to give a little introduction for those of us that have not been to Pills before. Some of our viewers are new, so why don't we talk a little bit about Pills and where the party is. So, a little bit of a backstory. In season 1, the party went through a lot. You can check that out on the channel, but the party has mostly gathered in the town of Pills for their sort of 1-month hiatus, and we're coming to this a month later. We good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's get started. All right? All right. Now, welcome to Pills. It's a place where time seems to move as lazily as the wide river that cradles it. The air here carries the sweet, earthly scent of summer, tinged with the faint musk oligarch. The faint musk. Everybody cough it out. The faint musk of the rivers embrace. The soil along its banks is soft, rich, and dark, a gift from the meandering waters that have shaped this land for generations. Now, Pils is no grand city like North Veritas. Pils is no bustling port town like Amakora. It's a fishing town. It's a humble fishing town nestled in a gentle valley where timber-framed cottages, they kind of lean slightly with the weight of the years. Their thatched roofs and flower-filled window boxes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I've been attacked.
Window boxes.
Did I say window boxes and then all the window boxes fell?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wasn't a technical difficulty.
You know that light has fallen twice now, so we're just gonna leave it.
Yeah. I just stayed
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's a paid actor.
Like I said before, they don't make tape like they used to.
Yes.
It's chilly. Doesn't work well. Cold.
But this is the type of town where like every single door creaks with a kind of familiarity, and like the cobblestones of the street, they hum with that kind of old world contentment. The people here, they're small of stature. It's a halfling community, large of spirit. The halflings of Pils, they call themselves the Pilsh, and they're masters of the fly rod, and they've turned fishing into both an art and ritual. Their hands are deft with the movements, and they're so graceful. And as they weave intricate lures from feather and thread, they kind of whisper secrets to the river as they cast their lines. It's almost as if they talk with the fish themselves. It's also said that the fish in these waters are as clever as the Pilsh fishermen. And, you know, there's always these stories in the pubs of how clever or monstrous the latest fish or catch has been. So this is kind of drawing a picture for you guys of what life is like. You know, it's simple. Some might say idyllic. The days begin with calls of river birds in the morning calling out, and they end with the soft strumming of a lute or the murmur of a story shared over mugs of ale. And while the town is quaint and quiet and happy, there's depth to it. There's a rhythm, there's a soul you can't find in the bigger cities like North Veritas and Amakora or Eldergrove. Pils is a place where the river's song mingles with the laughter of its people, a sanctuary for those who seek peace of a life lived close to the water, the soil, and the heart. And that'll end my introduction. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit more of a specific story for a second. Shem, you might remember Shem, the halfling blacksmith and owner of the forge in town called He Who Smelt It. An obvious nod not only to the halfling sense of humor, but the continuous, gastric endeavors of the Pilsh. And, of course, their resulting fetid, light but noticeable atmospheric changes, which, one never wants to be downwind of. Nobody?
That was too good.
Come on.
That was too good.
So Shem sets off on a 2-month journey to visit family, while you have just arrived in town a month ago after the Steecrux Tower incident. And Shem sees Thrud and Branmorn one day and says, it's good to see you. I'm going to be leaving town for a couple of months, and I was hoping I'd run into you because I was wondering if maybe you want to use the place. And you took it.
Yes,
right?
I did. Yes.
And it was nice.
It's been very lovely.
So, you've gotten to live in the dwelling above He Who Smelt It and simultaneously use the forge. You're kind of watching over the place, a little house sitting. And as we sort of turn our sights inside the forge, and we see that it's mostly shut down, with the exception of the one key forge, which is belching forth the bright light and smoke of the fires that burn within, we see our familiar female dwarf cleric Thrud smashing away on an anvil, working the latest blade. What have you been up to, and what are you making?
Well, it's you need to read the room of where you are. So sometimes it's not always the best place to make the most grandiose weaponry, and you have to tailor your wares to those who might need them the most. A good artisan can see what they need to make for the people. So there's been a lot of simple but yet ornate and beautifully crafted tools. Mostly a lot of fishing knives with a nice back hook on it, so that the clever fish of pills can be easily gutted by those who cast their lures out into the rivers and the water's edge. There's been a lot of need lately for people to be able to cook these fish that they catch. So I've developed a very beautiful grate, and double-handed grate with this nice curling filigree in it, so that you can actually sear your family crest into the fish that you're cooking before you serve it to your family.
That's a fantastic
Flair.
product. I love that.
Yes, I mean,
I'll take one.
If it's not worth doing if you don't do it well, right?
Yeah.
So, the fishermen, they've all started to notice their friends getting these nicer things, so they've been purchasing a lot of that. So it's been a lot of, smaller items, but, one of the nicer things that I was able to put together, a little bit beefier of an item, if you will, was for one of the local taverns, the codpiece. They were looking for a good way to cook their meats. They had their typical kitchenware, but they wanted something that would pull people in a little bit more, right? So I said to them, I can make you a Santa Maria that mounts tied into your tavern fire, which is a nice. It's a pad. It's a way to adjust the height of your cooking to raise or lower to your fire. If your fire gets lower and you do not have as much coals, but they're still producing heat, you bring that Santa Maria down. So there's a nice gear pattern that it gets installed over the top of the hearth, and therefore, if you're cooking all your fish and your fire dies down, you may not want to put another log on because it's getting close to closing time, but you want to finish the fish that you have on. You can roll it down. But the key element to this is that the handle is fashioned in such a way that it looks like a ship's handle with a steering wheel, with many pegs on it.
I don't like where this is going.
Well, come on. I mean, you've seen my flair, and we are all living beings who crave things that are funny and carnal, and yes, the handles are all penises because the name of the place is called the Codpiece. So, if you want to raise or lower the Santa Maria, you have to touch a dick or two. But who's ever had a problem with that?
This is
Welcome, episode 1.
This is how we're gonna open the campaign
With Thrudes crafting.
Dick wheel.
Fantastic.
So that was one of the larger pieces.
Welcome to Wither and Bloom.
Ready to get flagged.
It wasn't me.
Nice. So I'm gonna cut away from that scene for a few seconds.
Cut it all right if you'd like.
I kind of like it. I want to cut the scene out, though, into the woods. We're going to leave the village of Pills for a few minutes and find ourselves in a forest clearing. The light streams through the trees beautifully, and in the forest clearing, we see two figures with cloth satchels diagonally over the shoulder, sort of moving about at the forest floor and occasionally reaching down and stooping over and gathering and foraging the mushrooms that grow in the forest. Now, we see our friend Branmorn, who seems to be hanging out with a young male halfling who is assisting in this. And your friend, Nibs Hopesinger, he's kind of like teaching you the ropes. You're learning a little bit about mushroom foraging. And so you're gathering, and all of a sudden you reach down and you notice a really beautiful cluster. As a matter of fact, the air is broken. The sound of the forest is broken every once in a while with sort of like one of those pleasurable, this is nice. As you kind of, because this area is really rich with the growth of these mushrooms. And so, as you're poking around, you peel back the side of a rotting, broken tree that's laying on the ground, and you notice this cluster of big, beautiful, bright, blue-green mushrooms that's poking out from the ground. Excitedly, you reach down and you start grabbing them, and you're about to start adding them to the bag when Nibs pushes his head right into the area, and he's just like, "Hey, not that one. Not gonna eat that one. You remember what happened the last time you ate one of these? Well, it wasn't one of these, but this one, inside of 3 hours, you'll be bleeding out your ears right after you slip into a coma."
All right, Nibs. I mean, thanks. That's what you're here for.
Well, let me show you. I mean, if you look closely, he holds the mushroom up to you, and he's like, notice the pattern on the slight herringbone pattern, almost drawn on the cap of the mushroom. It's crisp, it's neat, it's clean. Too clean. It presents itself almost too well, like a salesperson. And you ain't gonna find me eating no salesperson.
I think it looks so interesting.
Of course.
Pretty.
But watch yourself, because it's
Okay.
that kind of
Alright.
interest when it catches your eye that you want to be cautious about. It's like a lure. It's like a fishing lure. It's gonna
That
pull
makes
you in.
sense. It makes sense.
Before you know it, you got the hook in the mouth.
Hook in the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he takes them from your hand and he throws them on the ground. And the two of you finish up because it's getting late, and you had planned on, I believe, making dinner back at
I was.
the
Yeah.
house, correct?
Did I at least acquire something worth cooking?
Yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah, you have a decent little catch that will
Alright.
certainly make a meal for two.
So no, I was going to do a brief introduction. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I take it.
Fire away.
I was just going to say, because Bran's a little different for anyone that might have known Bran in the group,
It's a new man.
but you see in the forest this gold-skinned, very elaborate, bright, colorful elf. He's got this orangish gold hair, swooping up, kind of spiked, a little crazy. He's just wearing simple black metallic studded leather armor, and he has the pouch on his side collecting mushrooms. But no, Nibs, if we got something to cook, I was planning dinner, so I think I've got enough here to cook with, and I'm glad you pointed out that one that having me bleeding from my ears or something. The last one that before I met you, that one that I cooked the one time, that was I guess someone might say it was fun, but it was an interesting trip that Thrud and I had that one night.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, it was
I
that
appreciate
conversation from the resulting trip that caused us to develop the friendship.
You're teaching me the ways. I appreciate it. So,
You must have missed the toilet at least 3 times.
so if you want to head back into town, Nibs, we can make our way.
He nods, grabs the bag, and as he turns to go, and you begin to turn back towards the road, he grabs your arm, and he kind of pulls you down to the ground, and he crouches behind that very log that you pulled over, and he just points towards the road, because you're pretty far in off the road right now. And you look, you pop your head up over the log, and you look, and on the road, you see heads of people moving at a slow pace. A lot of the heads are drooping, dropped, almost disparagingly. And you watch, and by rough count, there's close to 200 people walking by in a massive, massive group. Now, you're too far off the road to really discern who they are, but you pause and allow this group to pass. And Nibs looks at you and he's like, what the holy hell is that? They're heading towards pills.
They're too far for me to see what they are.
You can roll a perception check if you want for the first roll.
First roll.
First roll of the season.
That's
Don't fuck it up, Garrett.
Fuck it up. Oh.
What is that?
We got a 23.
Excellent first roll.
It's all downhill from
Yeah,
here.
you're kind of able. Your eyesight's pretty good in this situation. You take to this sort of landscape well, and you're able to see through the trees. These are a variety of ancestries, mostly human, from what you can tell, based on their heights.
Okay.
But you also notice that they appear to be disheveled. They appear to be, dare I use the word, depressed. Their heads hang. They shuffle
So they look
slowly.
alive.
They're alive.
Okay.
They do not appear to be undead. I'm definitely giving that on a 23.
Thank you.
Not World War Z yet.
Yeah? What was that?
Yeah?
Yeah, what was
Freudian
that?
slip?
Give me time.
I'm just making sure over here. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to know, but with that, the last bit kind of go by after you take this observation, and Nibs looks at you and he's just like, shortcut, down the riverbank, let's go. And he drags you and you kind of like hustle out of the woods, across the road, down the riverbank, cross the river, and take the shortcut back into Pills.
All right.
Okay. We're going to cut away to another scene at this point where we are in the center of town. And there we see two people, one halfling and one interesting character that might be unfamiliar, engaged in some kind of activity. They appear to be together, but there we see Papillon and Electo, not necessarily close together, but apparently together. Hard to tell. What are you two up to?
So I turned to Electo. Electo, this town reminds me of the Roost.
Really?
Yes, it's a relaxed way of life, It's this calm nature. It's in the air. You can smell it.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple enough.
Yeah, simple. I like that word.
It's got heart. I'll give it that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just haven't been back here in a while. It's
Yes.
jogging the old memory.
Yes, churning the memories up. Yeah.
I suppose you could say that, yeah.
Do you want to talk about this?
Oh, there's not really much to talk about.
Okay, fuck it. We don't need to talk about this then.
Maybe some other time.
Nice. Okay. You see anything you want to do?
Well,
You're always the schemer in this pair,
I suppose you could say that, yeah. Well, Aleko's kind of like, she just kind of starts to look around and survey the area as familiar terrain for her, but with an air of curiosity. Is there... Oh my god, everybody's moving. I didn't notice that.
They're not moving, you're tripping.
Rich?
Apparently you got some of Brian's mushrooms.
No, we're not doing that.
Anyway.
Is
there music playing in the town square?
Yeah, there would be somebody busking in the town square for sure.
I'm going to hit a little two-step just from nature.
Two-step.
Yeah? You're gonna start to dance?
Just like a little, like, it just happens unconsciously. It just comes out of me.
And is this something that you're trying to do as a performance or something for your own self-enjoyment?
This is for my own self-enjoyment.
Wonderful.
It's my own self-expression.
wonderful.
I don't even know it's happening. I'm just moving.
Electo kind of clocks that and then takes notice of that, looks over at the performer, looks back at Papillon, looks around at the crowd that is starting to form. She kind of walks over to Papillon, like leans in a little closer.
I stopped dancing for a second.
You wanna make some bank?
Bank.
Keep dancing.
You don't have to tell me to dance twice.
try
I'm
it
going
again?
to do it.
Papillon, a natural performer, kind of like looks around and sees the people, and he kind of like whisks open his black flowy cloak to reveal fancier clothes underneath, almost like a matador's uniform, but like tan and gold. And a little ascot and all that. And
Wow.
he starts to kind of hit like a little bit of like a Russian dance, like hips involved, feet involved, and he's going to flare out a wing here and there. Is this a good time to describe Papillon?
I think it's a great time to describe. Now, are you dancing at this point?
Yes,
Is this
I'm gonna
becoming
dance,
part of
yeah.
the dance?
Yes.
Go ahead and describe it.
Papillon is about 6 feet tall. He is a bat. He's a gloom folk, which basically means half human, half bat. He has big, large ears with different like earrings and whatnot, gold earrings like up and down it. I described his clothing already. It reeks of privilege, and he's got a nice black cloak over his rather bright outfit that kind of like stands out. Like, why would you wear something so dark over something so bright? Interesting. He's got very hopeful eyes. He's got like dark brown, like shaggy, curly-ish hair. And he's busting a move at the moment.
Give me a performance check.
Ooh,
Let's
the
see how
first
this actually
roll.
goes.
Okay.
Now, Electo,
Yeah.
you decided to ask Papillon to do this.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Electo is thinking back to a little adventure that she and Papillon had shortly after they met. And is hoping to have a different outcome this time around.
22, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
You are really nicely putting it on, and people are actually starting to gather to watch this performance by the new kid in town. This interesting collection of features. They don't see folks like you around here, and now that you're performing this dance, everybody's kind of like, okay.
It's kind of turning into like the Footloose dance.
Oh,
But
my
like
God.
at the end of like every grapevine, I'm gonna throw out like my wing. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
So, as a crowd begins to form, Electo's gonna wait and kind of like sift into the crowd. And as it begins to form, she's gonna pick out maybe like 2 or 3 people who seem better off. Possibly survey for coin purses.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and pickpocket the richest looking individuals.
Give me a perception check to start that,
I will
because there are some well-off people. Let's see who you get.
Solid
Nice.
22.
A solid 22.
We've all
Your
been
dude-
above 20 so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow.
Well, now
We
you
need
called
to-
it out.
On the break,
Yeah.
we're
God
swapping
damn it,
out
Rich.
dice.
Now I'm gonna roll under 10.
Nice.
We don't gonna roll yet.
With a 22, you're easily able to pick out somebody that seems to be of a decent wealth, and so you do spot the coin purse on them. I'm just going to grab some dice of my own. Why don't you go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me?
Gladly.
Let's see how you do.
I'm gonna guide myself.
Okay.
Oh,
Drop my
no.
D4.
Not the D4.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Do you need another one?
If it was a
Yeah, and I'll find the other one later. I'm also gonna use. I'm gonna just keep that.
roll.
Okay.
I'm also going to knowledge from a past life and add a D6 to this.
Okay. You're going all out, pulling out all the stops.
trying to get over 20.
I guess it wasn't a good roll.
Yeah. 22.
22. Everybody's rolling 22.
It's kind of nuts, yeah.
I
Yeah.
rolled a 23.
Okay, Garrett.
As the crowd begins to form, Electo, you're able to slide up behind this rather stout halfling, what appears to be almost a nobleman. He's wearing a really beautiful tunic and a vest underneath that he's kind of got his thumbs nicely planted in the front pockets, pushing it out. And he stands there sort of contrapposto watching Papillon's performance. And you realize that while his hands are pushed into his pocket, he's kind of might have had a little bit to drink, and he's swaying back and forth. The crowd begins to close in, and you are easily able to slip a hand in the waistcoat pocket and draw out a small coin purse. And in that coin purse, there's 40 gold pieces.
Not anymore.
That's for you. Nicely done, right off the bat. Decent.
That's sweet.
Awesome.
Do we split? Are we splitting?
Wow.
Oh, this is a great time to have this conversation.
No, it's important, I promise.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. After the performance is done, I'll give him 20 of the 40.
Okay.
After the performance is done, I'm going to thank you. I love pills, and I love you, wonderful people, and I'm going to throw the 20 gold at the crowd of people and walk away.
Okay, this like causes incredible excitement. People are just like, what? People scramble in. The coins are snatched up, and this is not because Pills is a poor town, but this is an uncommon gesture in this place. The Pills are modest. They don't throw their money around like this. And there's actually even a slightly offended look on the part of the nobleman that you stole from him when he sees this happen, because he hoards his money and sees this as, greatly offensive. But that being said, nicely done. We're going to transition out of this scene for a moment to Cersei and Remy, who happen to be hanging out together. But before we jump into what it is you're doing, I have a little element that I want to add to the story. You're both sort of sitting and chatting, and you can discuss what it is that you're chatting about. But in the back of your mind, Cersei, as you discuss what you're discussing, you're thinking about last night's dream. Because in last night's dream, you sort of, which this is a recurring dream, you started to realize that there might be more to this than you had originally thought. Now the dream goes like this. You are in Steecrux Tower. Now for those of you that are watching, this is a reference to a lot of the things that went on in the last episode of season 1. You're in Steecrux Tower. Crix Lockfinger has been killed, and you are all making your way towards the door for escape when you find the door is locked, and the dream goes almost exactly as the scene went down. Upon finding the door locked, you cast Shatter on the locking mechanism, and a fantastic damage roll on Shatter. You blow the thing to smithereens, and as you pull the door open, the upward draft of the tower draws out all the toxins that are falling from the ceiling, threatening to put you into the coma. And as you open that door and your party members move for that door, in the dream, something else happens. Everybody almost comes to a complete halt, except for you. And you stop. This is curious. And of course, you, to some degree, have learned a little bit about, you're aware that you're dreaming. And for example, you look at Remy, who's hightailing it for the door, right? And even though it appears that she's stopped, as you observe closely, she's moving, but at such a painfully, impossibly slow pace. And so you realize that time in your dream has slowed way down. You turn and look over your shoulder back towards Gamera's throne. And there at the foot of the throne, laying off the edge of the throne, is Crix Lockfinger, who died in that throne. And Gamera's on the floor in front of him. And you walk back over there. And you look around on Crix Lockfinger and you root through his clothes. And you pull out what appears to be a small note folded in half. And you open it up, you look at it. It appears to be a foreign language, glyphic in nature, hard to decipher. You fold it up. You reach into your backpack. You pull out the book on time. You go into the end papers where you have actually created a little secret fold, and you tuck the note in, close it, and walk back across the room. The party has physically only moved 3/4 of an inch at most in this time. And as you step back onto the same spot you were standing, time just starts to move. All of the spores come down, they flood into your sinuses, and everything goes dark. You wake from your dream. Tell me about what you're doing with Remy on the roof.
Wow.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
It's decent.
Wow. Okay. So the two of us have ordered some wine and some cheeses, and we're sitting out on the roof, which we would have been able to access from our room. So, sipping,
Snacking.
Cersei's focused on the people below, not really saying much as of right now.
Remy's kind of taken, like, similar to a brie cheese that has like a crust on it and is kind of peeling it off and is very meticulous about getting all of it off before breaking pieces off and eating it.
Someone doesn't like the
That is a
rind.
weird behavior.
It's Remy's behavior. She does not like the rind.
Seriously, giving you side eye.
And she's kind of rolling it between her fingers as she takes it off into like this little ball of crust from this cheese.
Ew.
And when she finishes that piece, you know, she's kind of making a pile of these rounded cheese rinds.
Seriously takes note of this and just. What are you doing?
No, saving it for later, not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me. Not for me.
Who?
The little mice downstairs.
The little mice downstairs.
There's a little hole.
You're making friends with them?
I mean, I'd like to think we're already a little bit of friends.
Okay. Do you like become a mouse and
No,
talk with them?
not always.
Why wouldn't
But-
you? Okay.
Sometimes I have. I know their little dynamic that's going on, and they would appreciate the pieces that we're going to throw away.
Right. Right. You know, I'm glad you're making new friends.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Making friends. Speaking of,
Yeah.
I don't know how it's been so long since we kind of got here.
Right.
Like, I never expected to be away from my home for this long.
Oh, me neither. I never expected to be away from my home
At all.
at all.
Yeah.
No, I was kind of happy. I mean, my parents were academics, and I wanted to be an academic. I was getting involved in the research world. I mean, I've been reading and editing, although most of the papers I edited were stolen, and I would leave them on my parents' colleague's desk. But you know, I was happy doing research, but you know, shit got rough, and my parents spoke out against a tyrant leader, and they were captured. And before I could be captured too, I left. It's not what I wanted, but I'm here. You know?
Yeah. I don't think you've ever told me much about life before.
No. It's hard to talk about.
Well, I appreciate you being open.
Yeah.
It's about time. It's been a while.
Funny you mentioned time.
What?
What?
Okay.
No.
You know, I think it could be very helpful for you to speak to a friend of mine.
Yeah?
Kind of where I venture off to a couple times a week.
Yeah?
She's very helpful.
What does she do?
She just listens, gives some advice.
Why?
You know, she helped me process a lot. I think it could be helpful.
Why can't you do that in your own head?
Well, sometimes things happen in your own head that are a little hard to open up.
Right.
And so she's kind of good at like getting in there and like digging it out.
No, I've been doing that.
Okay.
But not with like a professional. So when we've been meditating together, I've been speaking to a person in my meditations.
Oh.
Yeah, and she helps me figure out my future. Where I'm going and what I need
Are
to do.
any of us in your future?
Well, she doesn't give me details on what's going to happen. Just guidance.
Okay.
I've learned a few new tricks too. It's
You have
fun.
to show me sometime.
Yeah.
Well, I say cheers to growth, and Remy kind of raises her wine glass and kind of clinks it against the edge.
Seriously downs the full glass.
A couple of girls.
Cersei's got the bottle in her hand.
Yeah.
Dude, that's actually my second.
Did we say you were on the roof?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The roof where exactly?
We would have probably throughout this month found a little spot
Little
to
roof
kind
spot.
of get away from people.
Okay.
And be above.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of people
Yeah.
watch and just like
Okay.
away. Even if it wasn't its intended purpose.
One of you roll a perception check for me, if you would be so kind. You can choose who does it.
I have a plus
+7.
5. Oh, you do it.
You have a plus what?
7.
7.
Oh, I think it's a
That's
10.
nuts. That is
God.
Oh! 26.
Wow.
That is nuts.
Henceforth, all dice rolls shall be halved.
Oh my god. Well, it's one of my only good like, bonuses.
You're raising your glass. You're raising your glass to Cersei and toasting to well-being and, you know, growing. And out of the corner of your eye off the roof, you see, you have a sight line down to the entrance to Pills where the road sort of comes in along the river. And you see this large group of people, pretty far away still because you're pretty high up. But this large group of people seems to be making their way towards the town. This is unusual.
I would probably kind of like nudge Cersei a little bit and be like, that's interesting.
Why not?
Not every day you see,
No, that's a lot of people.
but they're pretty far from me.
Well, they're moving slowly, but they're pretty far from you, yeah.
Okay.
Would,
Should we go get a closer look?
would I have gathered similar information that Bran kind of did?
You're much further away than
Okay,
Bran.
so not
Yeah,
the same.
Bran was probably only 60 feet away. You're several hundred yards.
Do they have, like, torches or moving? They're not moving with, like, a haste, so I don't know if I would view it as a threat.
You can certainly see that they're moving slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's dangerous or
If-
not.
We get close enough, I can scan their thoughts.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
might be fun.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'd say
so-
at this point we're pretty much done with our cheese.
Yeah.
So while you guys are thinking about that, oh, by the way, well, let me cut back over to Thrud and Branmore for a few minutes, but consider what you're going to do, and I'll come back to you. Bran, you've returned with the mushrooms.
So if I got back to town, so we beat the crowd back to town. Right.
I'm in the forge.
Oh, you're in the forge.
Those are your forge noises?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to stop at the market, see if I could pick up a couple of nice, large freshwater prawns to bring home with the mushrooms.
Yeah, those are plentiful.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
You know.
and inexpensive.
Okay. So I'm picking up a couple, going back to the apartment, and does the apartment? Do I have to walk through the forge?
No, there is a side entrance to
Side
come
entrance.
up the stairs.
Okay.
So
Well, maybe I'll just kind of peek into the forge and see how Thrud's doing, and just say, hey, I'm gonna start making dinner. It's gonna be a good one.
Did you get the good haul?
I did. Nibs and I, we found some good ones today.
That little one seems to have a good nose, eh?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey,
It caught me. I was picking up some really colorful ones.
not those again.
Well,
I mean,
they weren't the same ones, but he warned me. Yeah.
Could have been fun.
What he described was bleeding from the ears.
Yeah, not good.
So-
I don't like that so
Anyway,
much. But the other ones were nice. That
But
was
there was this crowd, the massive crowd of people coming into town.
what did they look like?
Disheveled, couple hundred people, disheveled, heads down,
Weary,
weary. I don't know what it is.
downtrodden.
Yeah. But dinner.
Okay, yes. Dinner sounds
that's on my mind.
All right, let me finish up this last little bit here and cool down the forge. I'll be up
Okay.
in a second. Huh?
So I'm gonna make my way upstairs.
okay.
I'm gonna start whipping up, a beautiful wild mushroom prawn risotto. for dinner.
Brand's a chef now.
We're whipping it up. We're whipping
Hell
it up.
yeah.
It's on Brand. I mean,
In Brand's defense, Brand has always had a
I've
keen
always
interest in food.
been food and drink.
Yes.
Bob
So
and
it's
Brand.
not long before you're able to sort of get the smells going. A couple of onions in the pan, you've got the mushrooms getting in there, things are starting to get a little saucy. The smells begin to waft out the windows and certainly down into the forge. And so, yeah, you begin to prepare this dinner. Things are good.
Yeah. Whipping up dinner.
The smell of coal is quickly replaced with that of simmering prawn.
I would say it's a mix of both. Two of your favorite smells,
No,
actually.
it's quite erogenous, but it's nice. Excuse me.
A little whiff of the
I got a little bit of coal and prawn down in here.
See, you were trying to get a better sniff of the prawns, and you
went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You only have one pipe.
Truth. So Thruid closes down the forge for the evening, slows the bellows down, spreads out the coal in the forge, and makes her way upstairs.
And the two of you share a fantastic meal. I would say that as you're eating, you have a chance to glance down into the street.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, he who smelt it is not far from the town's edge. Okay. And as you're sitting there, windows open, smells wafting out, you're enjoying your meal. Two townspeople, two halfling townspeople, fishermen to be exact, still wearing waders, carrying rods, are hurrying past he who smelt it. And one is like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I've never seen anything like it. There's throngs of people coming. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think we need to go tell the mayor. This isn't good. We can't handle a crowd like this. And then they disappear off in the distance. It's ramping up. Something is ramping up. The meal is finished. You take some time to finish that. What were you thinking about doing after that?
Well, are we gonna meet Cersei and Remy tonight at the copies?
I thought that was the plan, yeah.
Maybe we should figure out what this commotion is.
Thruid has been standing in the window with the bowl of risotto and licks the inside of the bowl because Brand does make a very good risotto. It's not good to let it go to waste. She belches loudly to put forth her approval and appreciation.
And now you don't have to wash the bowl, but keep going.
Truth.
Housewife and breadwinner. Okay,
Thank
I
you.
said I love the
Thank you.
reverse roles of housewife and breadwinner. Like,
Male wife Brand is amazing.
sorry.
Yes.
Bran, do you think we should go down and see what's happening? Put on your fanciest
so.
garb.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, so the two of you finish up and head on down to the cod piece. Now, I believe, Cersei and Remy, you also knew that you'd be meeting through Branmorn tonight, so it's likely that you're also on your way over. But let's cut back for a moment to Papillon and Electo, because after your successful pickpocketing in the streets and your performance that went rather well, you've sort of been meandering through the crowd, possibly looking for another hit that you could take. And you also notice that the townspeople are starting to become a little bit uneasy at the news of this massive crowd that seems to be approaching. Not sure of what that is.
You see that?
I'm going to take a better look.
I'll join you.
I don't think you can. I'm going to go up in the air.
Okay.
Question: Can I use Thorn Whip to get on top of like a building?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you were going
I
to...
thought you were
No. I'm not gonna pull him down. No.
I really.
So you want to Spider-Man...
I
with
kind of
Thor-
want to like. Well, I mean, I kind of envision it as more of like an Indiana Jones kind of a thing.
Can you just grab onto my feet and you could just kind of come up with me?
Then you're gonna
without
get Thor.
damaging me?
Don't think you're going to have the... Well, you're halfling.
I am. I think I'm like
I'm only like 80 pounds.
80 pounds is actually a lot for a flying creature, though.
Yeah, and I'm not strong at all. Let's not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So then, no.
Face
If I can, if there is a way that I could, like, get on top of a building.
I think there is. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. We see Papillon, who says, "I don't think you can," and with a few flaps, up into the air you go. And with that, your reaction
Bastard.
is to cast Thorn Whip, right?
Yeah.
And how high up on the building do you want to go? And what is the range on Thorn Whip?
So let me actually check that. Thorn Whip. Okay, so it's a 30-foot range. So if there's like a nearby house, I would love to just send it out the full 30 feet and then just kind of use it to yank myself up to whatever vantage point I can get.
Okay, I'll tell you what. This is going to require some strength because you still do have to pull yourself up, right?
Yeah.
Because the Thorn Whip does not retract like a grappling hook and a line. So let's just say Thorn Whip does grab on. I'm going to have you make an athletics check for me to see if you are able to pull yourself up the full 30 feet.
Okay. I am going to guide myself.
Every time.
Shit. It's not going to really
There we
do
go.
much.
The 20 plus rolls.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's all over.
Get some real rolls now.
It's over.
Yeah.
Going straight through a window.
I'm gonna save another D6. I'm just gonna choke and take the 7.
All right, so a 7 is the roll.
Yeah.
So in this fit of enthusiasm, you cast Thorn Whip up, and it actually wraps itself around the base of the chimney of the closest house to you. You grab a hold onto the Thorn Whip, and you begin to just sort of yank yourself off the ground when you quickly realize what a horrible idea this was, because you not only do you not get far, you barely get off the ground as you sort of slide down. And as you sort of fall off, and you don't take any damage from this, but you do sort of take the ego wound of looking up and seeing Papillon flying down the street as you...
Psychic damage.
Damn it.
I was thinking possibly like 60 or so feet in the air, just so I can kind of get a good look of this crowd and what's the deal.
Okay. So you fly up 60 feet, 70 feet, and you see them. They're close now. They're probably within 200 yards of the gate, and it's not really even a gate. The gate of Pills really consists of 2 large wooden pillars with 2 nice carvings at the top. One is the crest of the town, and the other one was the first mayor of the town, both carved. There are no physical gates to stop anyone. They're about 200 yards from there. They're all clustered together like a big pack.
Can I go take a closer look?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. How close are we talking?
30 feet away.
You're going to get within 30 feet? Okay. So, and you're above?
Yeah.
So you begin to fly towards them, and you hover 30 feet away. It is not long before one person in the crowd looks up and sees this humanoid-sized bat creature flying above them. And he kind of elbows the guy, and he's like, "Look!" And he turns, and there's this, and he sees you waving, and they're like, and all of a sudden this wave of panic
Oh, great.
No.
spreads through this
Stop!
group.
There's no need to panic.
It's attacking us!
No one's attacking you. I'm not doing it.
And all of a sudden, people begin to flee. Some go splashing into the river. Others jump
What you
off the road
did?
into the woods, and the whole crowd begins.
Can I just
to disperse.
drop down in front of them, put my wings away,
There,
put my hands up?
you could.
I mean no harm.
So as you do this, there's actually 6 or 7. I mean, this is a massive crowd of people. So the immediate vicinity, 6 to 10 older women who appear to be wearing aprons and kerchiefs in their hair fall to the ground face down, almost prone, like they completely give up. Not in worship, but in utter defeat.
I'm gonna smile, but the most it's a little unnerving because I do have fangs.
Great.
Oh my god.
But I'm
what's
gonna
wrong with
attempt.
you?
I'm gonna attempt to, ease their worries. Hello, my name is Papillon. It's nice to meet you.
I would like you to roll a. Let's just go straight charisma check.
All right.
Could I have seen the direction that he was flying and
Totally.
follow on foot? Awesome.
Okay, so you're not going to be long if you're following on foot.
Okay. And I would be dashing.
It's going to be a 14.
A 14. I'm checking.
Okay.
I want to check. So you say, what do you say?
Hello, my name is Papillon.
As you do that, there's like one man there who's kind of like looking down, and he kind of like raises his head slowly in fear, and he's completely trembling, right?
Can I get low? Like, I kind of want to just like...
Hang on, please. And with that, this shovel
Sir.
goes whizzing by the top of your head. What's your armor class?
Gets knocked
Surprise,
out.
it's 19.
19. So I rolled a 13. What? And the shovel goes right by your head, and this other guy is just like, "You're not going to attack us!"
No, I'm not.
And
I get why you were swinging at me. There's no need, I promise.
Okay, you're a smart individual.
Yeah.
You quickly ascertain that this crowd of people is borderline in chaos. This is not going to be solved by you standing there just kind of going, "Hello, I am good."
I'm gonna,
Your attitude shifts very quickly.
it might be time for me to fly away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you flying up?
I'm gonna fly out of sight, whether that's behind a building or that's in a tree. I'm gonna do that.
Take your pick.
I'll go in a tree.
All right. So you fly up and perch in a tree.
Upside down or right
Yeah, of course it's upside down. Of course.
Wait, what? Upside down?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So this.
That's how I sleep.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
You're gonna like dangle on the ground almost.
Imagine this. You're tired. You've been through a lot. And all of a sudden, this 6 foot tall bat drops from the sky.
Can I roll a stealth check?
You're a 6 foot tall black object that just panicked a group of 200 people.
But I'm going high up in the tree. I'm not like going near the bottom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's
What was
amazing.
that?
It didn't roll. It didn't roll.
You okay?
14.
A 14?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just take a moment and roll 200 perception checks. Can you give me a moment, please? All right. You fly away and hang in the tree.
Cool.
Several minutes go by. It takes time for these people to sort of collect themselves, and they're looking around in panic over their shoulder, like trying to see where you went. But somehow, you do manage to sort of cloak yourself in the tree in a way that is unseen. And within about 10 minutes, now all of a sudden, Electo, you arrive.
Okay.
You see no sign of Papillon. Roll perception check for me.
All right, gladly.
I can't believe I didn't mean to.
That's cocked.
You too. This guy.
It's gonna be a 13.
A 13? Yeah, as you're approaching, you see the black form of Papillon fly off up into the trees and kind of like get behind a large, dense section of greenery in the tree. And all of a sudden he flips over upside down and he hangs himself there. And you see this group of people scattered, dispersed, some on the ground, some cowering behind trees.
What the fuck did he do? Hello?
One man who is helping an elderly woman up off the ground, he turns and looks at you, and he sees, the halfling, and he looks at you and he says, "Are you Pilsch?"
I am.
"It's good to see you. We were hoping for some assistance. Our village has been attacked and we've been displaced. We were hoping that you could allow us to seek some shelter here."
I'm no official.
"Please, we're desperate. I know there's a lot of us. I understand this is a burden. I'm not..."
I don't mean to turn you away, friend. What is your name? Where are you from?
It's been a long journey. We're from Farm Hall to the north, past the fields.
I see.
Sorry, I'm getting my name. The name's Arbogast.
Electo.
It's good to meet you, friend. Is it possible that we could at least come into town and take a rest? We've been on the road for days.
I'll show you the way. Have you seen a bat?
Most definitely. It attacked us.
Okay, all right.
What did? Because that's... If you've seen the bat that I'm asking about, he's not really keen on attacking. I know him. He's a friend.
Please understand that we've been through a lot, and perhaps our judgment is not the best, but
I
tired
understand.
and scared and hungry, and seeing that was alarming at best.
That's fucked up.
Then follow me.
Just exists.
Thank you. And you and 200 others begin to work your way into the,
Oh my god, it's like Noah's
town of
Ark.
Pills.
Okay.
All right.
I dropped a dime.
Suddenly, Pills does not smell like river, but it smells like
Yeah.
refugee.
The four of you, Thrud, Branmorn, Remy, and Cersei, have arrived at the Codpiece, one of the favorite local taverns. Yeah.
As we came down, I would have stopped at the little mouse hole that I was referring to, and I would have left my
Rind.
rind of cheese and
balls.
any leftover cheese pieces that we didn't eat.
Fantastic.
I would have left it at in the hole
Rind rat.
and did like a little tippy tap on the wall.
All right. That sounds good.
That's cute.
The mouse will probably emerge and eat, although...
There's a
see what
stampede
happens.
coming.
Does the mouse emerge?
I don't know.
The mouse does emerge.
cool.
You tap on the... This has become a familiar situation for you.
Yeah.
So the mouse has kind of come to know your taps, and as you tap on the wall, you hear a little bit of a scurrying and pokes its head out, looks around.
I'd offer my finger as a little
It kind of pulls back for a second, but then does come out, grabs the rind ball, and runs back in the
cool.
hole.
Okay, cool.
The rind is the best part.
I gave it to the mouse.
So you guys are all entering the codpiece, is that correct?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's change it up a little bit here because we need some mood. All right,
No.
I messed up. I guess.
What in the world?
the codpiece. There's always music at the codpiece.
Yeah.
They serve
kinda
fresh
go-
cod, by the
I
way.
was gonna say it's got a little
Very 2010 space boy.
Franco leather daddy vibe to it.
Oh my
It's
god.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean like Papillon?
Someone summoned me. Yes.
All right. So the four of you get a table. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the fire where the Santa Maria is, I would like to give it a spin to make sure it is properly working for them after I've installed it.
Yeah, and actually, as you do that and you give it a spin over the open flame, which is there right now, the bartender kind of spots you because the bartender sees the piece move and then sees you, and he's like, nice work, Thrud. Appreciate it.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Seems like it has been well used.
If I had my way, you'd take over, he who smelt it. That Shem's a nice guy, but,
It's a lovely place, but, I do miss my forge at home.
I'm putting in my vote for you. What are you having?
Do you have a nice stew this evening? No, we just ate risotto.
Uh-oh, somebody's pissed. What about you?
I'm always hungry, you know this.
I'll just eat
Oh,
cheese.
we just ate, but if I could just have a bottle of wine, please.
Of course. A
Can
whole
we
bottle.
get two
Yeah.
glasses? Two glasses with the
glasses.
bottle of wine,
Okay.
Some
please.
things
Yeah.
never change. All right, it's not long before you're seated and you are well equipped with libation.
Mead.
Mead, wine, Branmorn.
Mead, wine, brand one.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Brandmore.
Speaking
Ale.
of libation,
All right. You're having a sort of a drink and discussing and catching up. So, what's the conversation about? What are we thinking here?
Is this a routine thing? Do we do this all the time? Okay.
Yes.
That's what I figured.
That's what we discussed. Sorry we didn't include you. We just figured that every couple of nights we'd meet, just catch up.
yeah.
That's kind of sad that you're not together every day.
Okay, fine. Every night, whatever.
You don't have to change it. I'm just
Well,
asking.
you know, at least we keep in touch. We never hear from Tryphon.
Yeah, Tryphon just dipped and left.
Yeah, that guy.
Gone. He had one
Okay.
job and didn't do it.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Rude readjusts
another
the
job
horn
really well.
that is on her head. You know,
did you see that?
Yeah, that
Mob?
group of people.
I was out in the forests with Nibs collecting mushrooms, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Some massive.
How is Nibs?
Pretty good. Pretty
He's
good.
good.
Yeah.
He's very sweet.
He's teaching me some things.
Yeah, he knows those mushrooms.
He does. He does.
He's very keen on them.
Yeah.
I know this much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's teaching me a thing or two, and Through definitely appreciates the cooking.
I reap the benefits of what he teaches, that's for sure.
Got a good batch tonight.
Nice.
Where's ours?
There might be a
Oh.
little leftovers at the apartment.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Sorry.
We forgot
just
the
not
to-go
gonna bring
bag.
any.
We did, my bad.
It's alright, you just don't care about us.
Sorry.
It's okay. I figured, I'll
didn't-
just spend more money on dinner. And
Didn't want to upset
Okay.
That's
okay.
whoever the bartender's name
That's
is.
fair.
at the
They're very
coffee.
lovely.
Friedegar.
Oh, okay.
Friedegar.
Them.
What he said.
Yep.
Friedegar. I didn't want to bring outside food.
You're
into the
free to
bar.
go.
I mean, that's that's a little whatever.
Good free to go.
But no, I don't know what the group of people was. Did you see them?
I saw them.
We saw them
Quite a
marching
bit.
in from
Yeah.
the roof. Well, marching, they were shuffling. But
I couldn't really make out what was going on. I was a little too far away.
I mean, we heard some townspeople making a commotion outside our window.
well, I mean, honestly, I was thinking we should go check it out and see what's up. Because I'm a little curious myself. I'm sorry, I'm just a little itchy, like,
I'm curious.
Itchy.
to do something.
I'm curious. No, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish our drinks.
Okay.
I
Seriously,
mean, you got a whole bottle,
downstairs.
so I don't know what you're.
It's gone.
Oh,
Remy got
okay.
like one drop of this bottle of wine.
Remy got a half a glass of wine, and Cersei finished the bottle.
Not the bottle, just what was in her glass.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
right.
Much more reasonable.
Oh
That's
my god.
let's sure. Drew, do you want to go check out this whatever this is?
Yes. Let's see what these vagabonds have to say for themselves.
Like
So I'm gonna put this out there. I would just love to know, Papillon, what you did after you stealthed in the tree, because what you spotted from up there was Electo taking Arbogast and the rest of these refugees into town. So after they're gone, what do you do?
Well, I can imagine that they don't want me to follow because they don't like me. I think maybe I'd kind of wander around town with my hood up, trying to like not be seen by these people. I like walking around town, and I like just like hearing interesting stories about people's lives, and just like the mundane of it all. I really enjoy that.
So you're strolling about.
Yeah.
Okay. Electo, you are heading into town, and frankly, the Codpiece is one of the first bars inside the city gates. So it's not long before, as you're walking with Arbogast, that you come upon the door of this, and he said, Arbogast is just like, my people, my friends are starving. I think we should go in here.
My god.
There you go.
I don't know if all of us will.
Everybody, there's a tavern. With what little money we have, we can hope to pay for something to eat. And with that,
We're
like,
gonna
people
open the
just
door.
kind of bum rush you, and they move for the door. The four of you are sitting there, and the tavern door slams open,
So I'm gonna say we don't have to go find them.
and people start filing in. And Friedegar is just like, welcome! Well,
Holy shit!
It's like a subway.
oh my god, I don't know if we can handle this many people.
Are they all coming inside?
Everybody starts filing in, and a couple people walk right up to the bar, and they're just like, please, could we have something to eat, please? These people are absolutely desperate. Arbogast explains to you as they're moving past, he's like,
What?
we've been on the road for 2 weeks. Our resources are depleted. We left on the fly. We were chased out of a burning village.
By what?
we sit down?
Sit with me. Tell me everything.
I don't think there's any tables left.
The two of you sit down, and several other people just come in, pull up chairs, turn them around backwards, slide up. One reaches across the table and actually kind of nods at one of the people and takes a small basket of bread off the table and just starts shoveling it into his mouth. Most of these people are human, but there's a smattering of mixed ancestries that are, present as well. Arbogast is human, and he's wearing farm clothes, so he looks like he was tending fields.
Alecto is fully, standing on the chair and leaning up against the table. I'm little.
Yeah.
I'm little.
Yeah. So you're almost drowned out by the crowd, but your head does still show.
Right.
So
I'm kind of locked in. Arbogast, tell me what happened.
It was a normal day 2 weeks ago. And I heard the screams from off in the distance just up on the other side of farm home, and I quick got my wife and kids into the root cellar. We were hiding in there, and we heard it go. We heard the crackling of the flames. We could smell the smoke. We could hear the screams. And I wanted to rush out and to help, but something told me that it was of no use. And then the door to our house, our cottage, was thrown open, and two men stormed inside. They overturned our furniture. They went through our pantries and took our food and upturned all of our things and stole our valuables and ransacked the place. And as they were doing it, they laughed. They did it with such a fury. I heard them mention a couple of things that stuck with me all of this time. They mentioned the name Nex Cornu. They talked about it not as if it was a person, but as if it was a thing. I noticed that their clothing was stamped with these odd, strange, glyphic letters. That was all I could see through the cracks of the door. The root cellar's door is actually hidden behind the pantry door. It's not easy to find, which was what allowed us to hide in there for the duration.
Clever.
When they got done with the place, they stormed off. And when we were finally brave enough to emerge, others, like us, were able to come out into the street, but the town had mostly been wiped out. Hundreds of people were slain by this group. While we were picking up the pieces and deciding what to do, we noticed that the villagers from the neighboring town of Haythorn came wandering in, a pack of them, probably 125 strong, and they said that they too had been ransacked and burned. So we joined with them, figuring safety in numbers, and we began to head south. Several of us decided that it might be safer to stay off the road and take to the fields, the ones that supplement the food supplies through North Veritas. Many of us know the farm trails and roads through there. So we've been off the road. We're high in the growing season, so it was possible to get some food along the way, but not always easy. And so here we are. It's not long before the codpiece is absolutely packed to the ears with people. It is absolutely filled to the brim. Not another person can get in there. You see Friedegar behind the bar, frantic, pulling his hair. He's like, I don't know what to do. There's too many of them. We'll be out of food in 5 minutes. And so, with that, pushing her way through this crowd of tall people, you see this small figure moving in, separating people. A female voice with the pitch of halfling and the tonality of, somebody that is pilch, pushes through. And she kind of comes through the crowd of people, and she actually sees you first, Alecto. And she's like, what the hell is going on here?
These people came into town today, refugees from Farmhome in Haythorn. They were attacked.
You immediately recognize her. It's Belladonna Greenhill. She's the mayor of the town.
Mayor Greenhill. These people are desperate. I led them in myself. I don't know what to do with them. I don't think anybody knows what to do.
Friedegar looks like he's gonna have a stroke.
I kind of resonate with that.
We'll have to do something, but I'm not sure what's going to... I think we should do this. Let's call upon the other inns and taverns to come together and see if we can't do something. I'll see if General Goods can get us some tents and some bedrolls or something. We'll set them up in the streets.
Is there any open place in town that we can establish a large campground for this group?
The town square can accommodate some of them, but not all. I mean, we might have to set up camp in the streets.
So be it. Let's do it.
And so the movement begins, and you...
Is that the first time that Alecto has seen Thrud?
Yes.
Her eyes go wide. It's you.
I don't know what you mean. As Thrud takes another log and throws it under the Santa Maria to get that stoked ready to cook for more people. It's me, yes. Who? How do you know? Who are you?
I'm Alecto. I don't really know how to explain how I know you, but I can say that Thyla thinks very highly of you.
You know the lizard?
You know the lizard? To a certain extent.
Do we hear this conversation?
Thrud's eyes get very steely and very suspicious, but you can see her start to soften a little bit because you know the lizard.
One of her... So, the key kind of details of Alecto's appearance. She's shorter than you.
Finally. What's up, Pike?
Yeah.
Next week.
Dressed all in black.
It's a good aesthetic.
One eye is gray and one eye is green. And it is the exact same color as Thyla's eyes.
Wow.
That, something familiar about you?
I think we're all about to get fairly preoccupied.
Yes. We'll return to this maybe later.
I'd like that.
Sure. Of course you would. Thrud walks out and goes to one of the other doors.
Classic Thrud.
I will say that you were close enough to hear this conversation because you were all at the same table.
Right.
And when Alecto came in with Arbogast, they sat at the table right next to you. So you saw all of this unfolding, although you're currently unfamiliar with Papillon and Arbogast, and Papillon's not even there right now. But you did hear it, though. So I think this is going to be a good time for us to go to break. I will say this. You all get up and begin to engage in, like, Belladonna begins pointing at people and be like, giving instructions for how to possibly deal with this massive influx of people. And you begin to sort of try the best you can to help the town of Pills deal with this emergency.
Yeah, we're regulars, the codpiece. We would help out.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know how this
You know how,
works.
you know how that works. So
I would go and look for the food that's in the kitchen and start to put food on to the grills and start cooking.
Fantastic. All right, why don't we go to a break? And for those of you that are out there, we will interact with the chat on break and do bathroom break and drink break and all that other stuff. And you're going to get to see the next episode of Bag of Holding, where Addie introduces a new homebrew weapon. As soon as I can get that up, I will. But for now, why don't we cut the break? All right? We'll see you all in a little while. We got some good stuff for you on the break, so don't worry. All right, see you.
and today we're talking about longbow. Gain 1 Fury Charge. As part of an attack action, you can expend 1 Fury Charge to fire a Furious Shot, which instead of the regular damage, deals 2d8 plus the applicable modifiers of any damage type of the wielder's choosing. At this point, you can have a maximum of 1 Fury Charge. In its improved form, the Patient Longbow becomes a +2 weapon, along with some cosmetic changes. We see the Anger in Waiting perk get a small buff. In addition to the maximum of Fury Charges that you can now have going up 1, being 2 of course, you can also bypass damage resistances with a Furious Shot. So we see a small buff to the way that Fury Charges are used. In addition to this, you get the challenge. C15 until the start of your next turn. Lastly, in its perfected form, the Patient Longbow becomes a +3 weapon. Anger in Waiting gets its final buff in the form of 1 additional maximum Fury Charge. Now, small buff its final perk. Steadfast. Whenever you expend a Fury Charge, you gain the benefits have